everybody, welcome back to yet another video or live stream of channel CodeX. In this live stream, we're gonna keep it simple, we're gonna keep it down. We'll have chit chat, we'll have discussion, we'll discuss the topics like server pod, Flutter, and in general the comments I have received on today's post. So yeah, these all things are going to happen in today's stream. Let me see that everything is working fine. My camera, let me know in the comment section if you have joined, you can hear me properly, you can see me properly, so that we can start once like a decent number of viewers have joined. And Zaim, Asif already have joined. Welcome to the live stream. Vijay Royal, hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great, bro. Okay, so I think we are good and I'm audible. Let me check it over here. Seriously, I cannot check volume in this one. Okay, anyways. So let's see how many people have joined so far. And let me just remind you guys one more time that we are just going to have, a normal discussion. The topic that you suggest, the topic I feel like to discuss about Flutter, anything about technical concept, mobile application design, or I have some pointers to talk about. Of course, it will not be like a random talk. But yeah, we can take any topic, we can discuss whatever we feel like. So here are the people joining. Surya, hello. Jagdeep Dhillon, thank you so much for joining today's live stream. Hassan Doy, hello from Little Island of Bahrain. So welcome Hassan, I hope you're doing good. Let's see. So 17 viewers are there. It's a good time to start. And what I have planned for today's live stream, like I'll just go I'll put my opinion on different things which is happening right now with the Flutter. Things are new features, new things are coming up. So we're going to talk about those things. And also if you have any suggestion, like people have already commented on the post, if you haven't seen that. So people want to know about CodeX, and then they want to know about stream, blog, and all those things we are going to talk. So Mr. Spy is in the house. Thank you so much for joining today's live stream. So we are good to start. Okay, just let me know in the comment section that everything is working fine. You can hear me and you can see me. It should not happen that I'm just talking and you guys cannot hear me, right? Mamoon Ansari is asking where I am from. I'm from India, currently living in Dubai. So yeah, that's a little bit introduction. Thanks for asking that question. So just a quick update, and I hope there's not much delay. So just write in the comment section chat box that everything is working fine, and then we will start from there. Yeah, all is great. Jagdeep has already confirmed. Thank you so much. So first, let's start with server pod. You guys might have seen my video on server pod where like I have released so far 3 videos and I'm working on the 4th one. And server pod is a backend technology in the Dart language. So you write same Dart language on the server side, host it on AWS, and consume inside your Flutter application. It's that simple. So I hope you guys have seen that video, and let me just share the screen and tell you more about server pod, because server pod really, it's trending nowadays. People are talking about it. Soon it's going to release. It's a stable version, so I'm really excited about how things goes with server pod, and I'm really hoping that it should become a next technology for Flutter. Like Flutter should acquire it, or Flutter should work with server pod to make it more scalable, make it more global, and we can host it on any platform without having to worry about different languages, different environments. So it's gonna be a very fun thing. Okay, let me share my screen, and I hope I'm visible to all of you guys. So if you haven't seen the server pod documentation, if you haven't seen the website, here it is. You can go to serverpod.dev and you will find all the documentation. You will find everything to get started with server pod. They have all the examples on the GitHub. They have all the documentation to follow up. So let me just show you real quick the server pod documentation. Here we are. How to install server pod, what are the communities, and all the concept like endpoint, how to serialize, how to create your custom class, everything is covered there. So let me know in the comment section if you guys have tried server pod, if you have faced any difficulty, or you really want to understand how server pod works, how thing works with server pod, so that we can go a little bit in depth talking about server pod. Otherwise we'll switch to next topic, and we'll keep it interactive, we'll keep it fun, so don't worry about that. We'll also answer questions from comment section. So you can, if you have any question, if you want in general want to discuss about something, or you want my opinion on some of the technical things, so you can write down in the comment section as well. And I'm reading all of your comments, so let me just pull it a little bit over here. Okay, I'm from India, Tamil Nadu. So Mr. Spy or Spam, I don't know. You have used a lot of custom UDF icons. Okay. Mamoon Ansari saying a video on Flutter job in India and Dubai. Okay, that's a good suggestion. So I remember like 2 years back, sorry about that. 2 years back, I created a video on Flutter interview questions, and it was really like basic kind of interview question. So maybe I can give you the journey, like where to apply and which sites to apply, how to reach, how to write your resume for at least Middle East and all those company, how does the thing work. So that's a good topic suggestion. I'll keep it in my mind, and hopefully I'll deliver it soon. Thank you so much for giving a good idea. Okay. All right. After so long time, BL Kumawat in the house, a big face bump to you. BL Kumawat, I know you, like you're a regular viewer, you're a regular, I think, no, you're not a member, but of course, you're a regular viewer of channel CodeX. And I really enjoy when someone already I have, seen earlier, and they join the chat box and they have like chit chat and say hi, hello. It really feels me, it really gives me a good vibe that, okay, people are interested to know about things about Flutter, things about they care about CodeX channel. So it really makes my heart warm. Okay. After your last video on server pod, I tried it for a few hours, then just gave up. Hassan Doi, I totally agree with you. And now, just because we are talking about server pod, let me give you this thing, because this is the live stream. We can keep it free. We don't have to, like, this doesn't have to really watch by so many people after this goes up, after we finish live stream. So we can talk any nonsense here. And we can, I can give you some real insights also, because you're in the live stream. Let me just switch to my main cam while I'm talking with this small window. Okay. So server pod, how I learned, basically the author of server pod, Victor, he communicated, like he contacted me, and he wanted to discuss this idea that he has developed this awesome software. And I was sold on this, on his idea. Like a payment part of it, collaboration is a different part. But when he told me and when he showed me the demo, like this is how the platform works, this is how you write code, this is the client and this is the server, I was really sold on that. Like it's very interesting, but at the same time, it gets complicated. It gets like overwhelmed. You have a lot of things to understand. And for someone who is coming from mobile background like me, I've never touched hosting. I've never touched server side. I just know a basic of HTML, that you write HTML, head, body, and div and whatnot, all the tags, right? So for someone like me, it was, overwhelming. Like it's too much of content. It's too much of resources to consume. The Terraform, the, PostgreSDB, how to write scripts, PGSQLs, and all those things. So it was like a totally different platform for me. But Victor really helped me to understand and, make the concepts clear for me. And I was asking him a lot of questions. Like he has very good patience that he answered all of the question. I understood the Flutter framework, server pod framework first. Then I created some of the demo projects. He reviewed the code, and then I started creating tutorial on that. So the point here is server pod. It's not something, you'll just start a new project and bam, everything is done. You are master of it. No. Because it's a different technology, it's different than the mobile. So things work really like in a different way. You perceive the things in a different way. You have to do hosting, you have to run your GitHub actions, you have to run Terraform scripts, you have to install all the different dependencies and Docker images and whatnot. So, but over the time, once you complete one or two example and you start to understand, okay, how things are going, how sessions are maintained, how logs are done, you will really enjoy the process of creating. So that's what I wanted to share. That yeah, in initial phase it was a little bit tough, but it became really awesome after I created 2 or 3 projects with that, and now I'm enjoying working on it. I have hosted one API as well. Let me just write that API in the comment section. It should be api.codex. Here we go. Right. So shall I not use this one? API. let me just figure out what was that. Yeah, here it is. So I'm just posting this API in the comment box, and this is developed on server pod, by the way, hosted on AWS. So if you run this URL in your browser, it will give you the response of current weather. Of course, it's a fake weather. Whatever ID you return, it's going to just append 20 to it. So it's like a fake data, but of course you can implement your own API. You can integrate HTTP calls inside your server pod and fetch real-time data. So that's how you start working on something, you learn something, and then you become master of it. That's the journey. BL Kumawat says, on your t-shirt, Flutter create awesome app, looking so good, so nice. Thank you so much. I did this, like it's my custom t-shirt. It didn't came from any Flutter team or any official team. I just created this design and went to the local vendor and got it printed. So if you guys are interested on this t-shirt, I can give you a link to buy for yourself. Let me just find out the advertising way. Where it is. I have the link. I'll drop in the comment section later on once we finish this live stream. Okay, Riyadh Musa is asking, we need a tutorial about clean architect Flutter, dependency injection, and MVVM architect. So Riyadh, I have already created videos on MVC pattern, how things work with MVC, how you manage controllers and views and all the thing. Clean architecture, how I perceive the clean architecture is that you have a feature first folder. What it means that whatever feature you are developing, you are all the files related to that feature should go inside the same folder. So all the views, all the controllers, all bindings, or whatever you have will go in the same folder. So that's how clean architecture works. MVVM doesn't work really well in Flutter. MVVM something works fine in Xamarin. So if you have seen a XAML code and where you have view model and view, so there MVVM works like a charm. But for Flutter, something you need either MVC or clean architecture or CodeX pattern, which I use currently. Now let me see if I have any other question pending. Uzaifa Arshad has written, love from Pakistan. I love you guys as well. I hope today, I think there's a match of India versus Australia, or I don't remember. Let me see. No. It's T20 World Cup, right? T20 match. India versus South Africa live score update. Yeah, so it's India versus South Africa. I hope it's live. Yeah, today's date. I don't know. People are saying that if India wins today's match, Pakistan will go in. Otherwise, Pakistan will lose this trophy. Like they will be out of this trophy. I don't follow cricket much, but some exciting moments, like last match when Virat Kohli hit couple of sixes, so that was interesting. And that I didn't watch actual match. I watched the highlights, so I don't really follow up match, but cricket match, but yeah, occasionally. Yes, BL Kumawat. So these guys are actually following up. They're saying all of like people, they started writing comment India versus South Africa, and I was searching on a Google. I should better ask you guys, right? Okay, BL Kumawat has asked a question, who developed serverpod? So serverpod is developed by Victor Lidholt, that's his name, and he is an ex-employee. He's an ex-employee of Google who worked on a Flutter project. So he was one of the developer who worked in the Flutter project, and then after moving out from there, he started his own company. He started writing this software, and it's really cool piece of software. And now he is in the phase of releasing the first stable version. So I'm really hoping that it goes well for him, and it will be really a game changer for all the Dart developers. So that's about the author of serverpod. Okay, Jagdeep Dillon is asking, I'm a beginner, which state management would be easy to learn and get the work done? Now this is, ever since Flutter came in the market, people are fighting over the state management. Some people say the block is best because it's recommended by Google. Some people say Riverpod, which is like a next version of provider. Riverpod is best because it's written by Remy Roosevelt, who is a great developer, and people are following and people are liking the way it works. And there are other set of people, like half of the people, who say CodeX is best and you can get the things done really easily. And fortunately or unfortunately, I belong to that group who likes to work with CodeX. Now there are a couple of reasons for it. There are a couple of reasons why Flutter community hates it, and there are a couple of reasons why it is an awesome choice to write your application, get it delivered like as soon as possible. So CodeX provide a lot of shortcuts. It doesn't work with all the boilerplate code. You don't have to write so many of things, so many of handling yourself. It does it all for you. So you just create observable, you just listen to it, and everything is done. Everything is sorted. So you don't have to write multiple lines of code. That's why I really like CodeX. It gets the thing done. It works really smoothly. I can manage memory myself. I have to be careful. I should destroy all the controllers. I should destroy all the declaration I have done in the initial field, like whatever I have initialized, I need to destroy that. So those all things I need to take care, and rest apart from that, it works smoothly. And I have delivered one of the biggest project in Iraq. It's Islamic bank application. I cannot reveal the name as of now. Maybe I'll get the permission from my company. So it has a very big, huge like user base, and it is a bank application. It is secure. It has Western Union integration. It has local, international, all the remittances. So and it has all the device features as well. Like we have integrated a video calling feature, audio calling for customer care. Then we have integrated chat feature. Then we have I think chat is not one-to-one. Sorry, not about chat. Then we have integrated QR payment. Like we are generating QR, we are receiving payments and all those things. So all of these, I'm not like bragging about my project, but all of this can be done with CodeX. That's the point I want to make. So people, they say that okay, over the time it will get complicated. You know how many modules we have inside that application, you will just lose your mind. That it has all major universe, like global international remittance provider. They are Western Union, Al Ansari, and all the exchange. They have the integration with that. They have vouchers. You can buy Play Store, App Store, PUBG cards over there. You can recharge your mobile and all sort of features. So, and everything is done with the CodeX. So like the people who say CodeX doesn't work good, CodeX is not performance, CodeX over time it will become hard to manage, just ignore them. If it works with you, if you are able to manage how things are going, you can do, and you can deliver your project with CodeX as well. Yeah, that's about CodeX. So let's take new question. Who we have? Open Davis. Luckily, SA won. Okay, so South Africa already won. I didn't know that it has already finished. I was thinking that it will start 6 p.m. in the evening, but I think the match is played in Australia, so I think the timings are different. There they have morning earlier than us. Okay, next question. Gautam Nadar is saying, can you share some information about ServerPod API authorization and authentication? Literally, I'll be honest with you, I haven't integrated the sign-in feature of ServerPod yet, but it is said that ServerPod has a direct integration for some of the providers, some of the social media, which you can use out of the box, and it works with Firebase auth also. So you can basically plug in your Firebase auth mechanism, and there you can have all the other social media logins. So it works that way as well, but I cannot really comment at this point of time. But I'm going to, currently I'm planning to work on the deployment of ServerPod to AWS. That is really interesting, and that has a lot of steps to follow. As a beginner, like as a when I was delivering my first project to AWS, it was really a nightmare for me because I have to follow. The documentation is there, of course, but when you open a site, their current version has changed, their layout has changed, the way it works has changed, and you have like runtime, you face a lot of difficulties, right? This key is not matching, that key is not matching. So all those things I'm going to document. I'm going to create a proper video for that, and it will be listed as a part of ServerPod playlist, so you can enjoy that. You can learn about how to deploy your own AWS. And let me tell you also, because we are talking about the deployment, it costed me around 150 INR, which is equal to like $2 you can say, to buy a domain, because what you are going to host needs to be available publicly. So you need to first buy a domain, and you can go like a little bit cheaper if you just want to buy a basic domain for yourself. 150 rupees is nothing. You can buy a domain for yourself on GoDaddy or whatever site you prefer. Then go to AWS, enter your card details. Of course, it will not start billing at the moment because your APIs will not have that much utilization. So it is based on the utilization. As you use, you are going to get billed. So as of now, I have not charged anything from AWS. So yeah, buying a site for 150 rupees, then creating AWS account, and then hosting all the Terraform scripts and GitHub action, it was really difficult. So I want to make that easy for you guys. At least you should not face all those problems. So I'm working on that video. It will be available in this week, hopefully. What is the difference between MVC? Oh, okay. Let's take a question from Abhishek Giri. What is the difference between MVC and MVV pattern? As far as I know, in MVVM, like there's a view model concept. The binding works differently instead of controller. So the view model is directly attached to the view, where you write all, like you listen for all the changes. In MVC, your controller can be used for multiple purpose. So in MVC, it's all like a different part. Your same controller can be utilized for different purposes, but whereas the view model is tightly coupled with view. That's what my understanding of MVVM, because that is what I have used in Xamarin when I was working on it. So we used to use MVVM there. Apart from that, I don't think there's a much difference. It is almost like the same. The C is replaced with the VM, right? Congratulations on 35K. Thank you so much. Somebody noticed that, right? So the title says it's a special stream for 35K, and it was just a random occasion to start live stream. I was like, it's been very long that I haven't done a live stream. I didn't talk to you guys. I didn't share my thought process on or what things are going on. So I didn't share all those information. So I thought, okay, let's have a live stream. And fortunately, this time I don't have to regret something, like, because last time when I used to do live stream, I used to say, okay, it's been like 2 months, I haven't uploaded any video. It's been 3 months, I haven't uploaded any video. But this time, fortunately, I have like 2-3 videos in the last month, and then couple of shorts video as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. And let me know how many people have seen the recent short which I have uploaded and on what topic that short is. Let me see how many viewers follow my channel properly. Okay, so next question from Abhi Parmana. Do you plan to make tutorial on making full stack app, Flutter front end and server-part backend? Yes, of course. Once I complete the current playlist, which we agreed on, me and Victor, we have it's a 4 videos playlist. When I'm done with that, I will do my own videos on that. So currently it's a paid promotion video, and of course it's more than money. Like, I'm enjoying the way it works with server-part. So once we finish this 4 video and we are done with the contract, then we will move on, and whatever topics I want to choose for server-part, whatever videos I want to create, I will do all the videos. I'm planning to create a chat application as well, and server-part has the chat module. So maybe I will talk to that. If Victor can sponsor that video as well, that will be great for me. But yeah, apart from like the basic features of server-part, that is going to be covered in the contract, and other things, whatever I create for server-part, that will be on my own for my viewers. So yeah, the chat application is going to come really soon, and the full-fledged application, as you said, will be there. And currently I have one application which is like a dummy application, not dummy, it's a demo application, we should say. Let me just share a link to that article. Here we go. And I'll just paste this link here. Okay, so if you check out this application, okay, the link is broken. No, it should be fine. So what happens as you install the Flutter application, like as you run the code, the same GitHub repository has 3 repositories. So there's a Flutter application, there's a server pod application, and there's a client intermediate application. So as you install as you run the Flutter code, you will see list of articles fetching from AWS, which we have already hosted, CodeX dev.xyz. And then you can add your article, you can delete it, you can modify it, so you can play around with it, and it's a real-time data. So just make sure that you don't abuse it. Okay, and I'm going to create more videos on serverpod really soon. And after taking some few questions, we'll start some game section. Like I want to do typing on a live stream. So a lot of people have enjoyed my video where I do typing, and I showed like 70 words per minute is my typing speed, which is not too, like it's not at the highest level. Of course, there are people who write 150 word, 200 words per minute, but as the normal developer, as an average, it's higher than it's higher. Like normally people type 40, 50 words per minute, and I went to 70, and sometime I touch 80 as well. So we're gonna play a little bit, some game sections we'll keep it. And there are some sites which have a nice game over the typing. So as you type, it will play some nice games as well. So we'll do that. I don't remember one of the site, one of my friend told me it starts shooting when you are typing. So when you're typing correct word, it starts shooting some laser, and it's like a space war game. So I forgot that, but maybe we can do that in the next video, or maybe I'll create a short video on that. Gautam Nadar, waiting for those server pod videos. I hope you subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so that you get update whenever I upload that. Vicky Gidir is saying sites to get jobs as a Flutter developer. So it depends which country you are planning for. For Middle East, UAE, or like Qatar, or KSA, things work like on Bayt.com. So BAYT.com, Bayt.com. You can go. Naukri Gulf is very famous. Then there's something called Indeed.com. So you can apply on Indeed as well. That's really a good site. Okay, waiting for serverpod deployment video. Yes, it's going to come this week. I'm planning to deliver it before Friday so that a lot of people can watch it over the weekend. India, please. Okay, for India, you can apply on Naukri.com. That's the best site. I think a lot of recruiters are there. When I was working in India, I remember I got selected from Naukri.com only. So it doesn't ask for any fees. It doesn't ask for any, like a commission or something. So that works really nice over there. Okay, it's time to have some fun. I'm going to share my screen and do some typing tricks. And at the end, like once we finish the typing, I will share one link in the description of the video. So you can go ahead and you can start typing there, and it will, it will store your score. So there will be like a competition between all of us. So just you have to go to that link, start typing. It will record how much words per minute you have typed, and that we'll see whoever types the most, like whoever typed the fastest, I will give a shout out in the next video. And you can type multiple times, so that is the cool thing. So if you in the first attempt you made 10 words per minute, no worries. In the next attempt you can make 20, 30, and whatever best score you make, that is going to be counted. Okay, Imagine IT Nepal has asked a very good thing. We need Dio package videos and interceptor in Dio. So Dio package I've used in a couple of projects, and it is fine. Like it works as HTTP, but it has more features. It can give you some listeners for download and upload and all those things. And it's a good feature. It has good features, by the way. And interceptor, it's a very common, like it's a standard feature. So even if you're using Dio, you're using HTTP, or you're using any of the client, interceptor works to like inject some of the information before and after you make API call. So that's a really cool concept. I'll just make a note of it, and let me just mark it as a video idea. Okay. Any one career. Imagine IT Nepal, you can connect to me on Discord channel, so we can have some discussion over there. So let's start. I should share my screen. Here we go. 10 fast fingers. This is a site I use for my typing, and it doesn't have like a much fancy user interface, but it works for me. And the good part of it, that it gives the random word, which increases the complexity. So it is not like a same sentence or same paragraph where you know what is going to be the next word. Like you can read it as a paragraph, but here you have all the different words. It's not in a single paragraph, so it makes it more complicated. Okay, so shall we start with our typing typing test? And I just wanted to be like, this is just for fun, you know. There's a game section as well, so we will play with with other users as well, and we'll see how fast people are typing. And then at the end, as I said, I'm going to share one link where we can have a competition between ourselves, and let's see who types faster. So shall I begin? Always, before, you know, somebody suggested that it is a good idea to speak the word as you type, so that your brain somehow knows what you're typing. It's interesting, right? Sometimes capital words and apostrophe make it difficult, but no worries. I think I will cross 60. What do you guys suggest? Oops. What do you guys think? Will I cross 60 or not? I'm typing really slow this time. Said, need, eat, put, cut, call, read. That 65 words per minute. So that's what happened if you're talking in between, if you're not focused fully. But still 65 is not a not bad typing speed. You guys can let me know in the comment section how much typing speed you have and which site you do practice. Let me take some comments. Meanwhile, Shriman Arjun is saying RiverPod 2.0 tutorial waiting. Okay, so RiverPod, I haven't covered any video so far. I have covered one video where I was talking, you know, like a comparison between CodeX and RiverPod. So I don't really think that I will cover RiverPod soon, at least, because currently I'm working on CodeX and I don't want to get deviated to other things. But let's see how things go. Compared to Node.js, ServerPod gives best performance. This is something a person can answer who has done Node.js. For me, it's like a blind wall. It's a black wall. Whatever I have started, it works fine. Let me tell you, like on a serious note, when I execute the API from ServerPod, it takes 200 millisecond or 300 millisecond, because it is simple API. It just connects to one table, it fetches the record and gives me in 300 millisecond. So 300 millisecond is very fast, considered to be fast, and it doesn't really depend on the technology you are using. Maybe like 2% or 5%, it depends on that. More of it depends on how you write the code. I have seen APIs, consume those APIs in the application, which is written in PHP, and it takes 15 to 16 seconds. Can you believe it? Like 15-16 seconds to get the data, and it's just a simple list data. So I raised a concern to the developer, and then he minimized, optimized it, and it came to like 1.5 seconds. So the thing I want to tell you that it's more of how optimized code you write, how less connection you make with other tables, how less joins you perform. So it totally depends on all those things. You can write a performant application with ServerPod as well. Okay, let me know in the comment section what is your typing speed. I'm going to play another game, and this time instead of typing alone, I'll be playing with other peoples from different countries, so it will be fun watching. But I need to know how much is your typing speed. Just let me know in the comment section. And meanwhile, I'll take another question. Vicky Gidvir is asking, what is the best time to switch company? So there's It totally depends. If your company is doing good for you, you are gaining knowledge there, so why to switch company? It's not just, uh, good idea to keep switching companies. But initial time, that's my personal opinion, you should switch companies in earlier phase of your career. So like for the first company, I think 2 years is a good time. So you learn work ethics, you learn whatever the culture of the company. So you should not be working for more than 2 years for the first company, right? So don't take it in a negative way. I'm talking in the terms like, if you're inside a single box, you will only have that culture, you will only have that information, so you'll never grow in terms of like how others are working, how others are doing the thing. So 2 years is a good amount of it's a good duration for the first company. Then you should switch to the next one, so it will give you the rise in salary as well, and it is good in terms of your skill development, your personality, soft skill, and whatever. Like it's good to explore things after 2 years. So you should not be sticking like 5-10 years in the first company itself, because it gives you the comfort zone. So you should definitely try switching after 2 years. Okay, API cache data. There's another question with from Code with Ashok, who asked API cache data when there's no internet. So API cache is implemented on local side, on your client side. It is not something which is handled by server. Of course, Firebase, they do handle this, but it happens when you become online. So they keep track of whatever transactions, whatever thing you have done on the client side when you didn't have internet. And once the internet becomes active, it pushes all the record to the server. So those mechanism is not handled so far with serverpod. You have to implement your own logic. So if there's no internet, just keep dumping in the local database of the mobile device, and once you have the connectivity, you can just push all the records. So that is the basic implementation. Ahmad Ali in the house, thank you so much for joining. He says that his typing speed is 70 words per minute. That's good. Okay, Pranav has asked a question: why does Riverpod have a hype as a state management solution? Because Riverpod comes from the author Remy Roosevelt, if you doesn't know him, and he is very he's very known for writing a good best practice code and writing all the libraries. So he's very famous amongst Flutter community. So that's why Riverpod has a very good ranking in terms of Flutter. Abhi is saying that he has a typing speed of 110. So this competition is for you. I wanted to see your typing speed. So I'll share the link at the end of the live stream, maybe in the comment box or maybe in the description section somewhere. And that in that competition link, you just have to type and keep typing until whatever you feels like is the best score for you. And then maybe it lasts for 2 days or 3 days. I can define duration as well. So we'll just pick whoever have scored the best. And I think you will be, because as you said, 110 is so far the highest score I have received. I have done this competition like 3 or 4 months back, where highest score was 85 from Suraj or Ashok. I think one of my viewer who did like it was 85. So 110 will be really like a good score. Okay, once we are done with the typing, I'm going to take you to review the code of Wondrous, which is Flutter application written by, let me just open that page real quick. Wondrous Flutter. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I should be sharing my screen, right? Here we go. So if you haven't seen that application, just this is like it's going to upcoming in the live stream. So once we do live typing speed test and all those things, we're going to talk about this Wondrous app as well. So this is a demo application, created by Jay Skinner, who is like a partner of Flutter in terms of providing all the templates. So you can buy your template as well if you want to start with any application. Jay Skinner is the name of the company who created this application, and it has a really amazing animations. If you want to follow a best practice, if you want to follow a certain way of coding in Flutter and how to achieve all of this is open source. You can find the complete source code on the internet. I will share that also. And it looks amazing. I have installed that application on my phone, so I'm using it. It just, it gives all the seven wonders of the world. It talks about the history. It gives you the images. You can navigate all through that. You can like it, dislike, write your comment, I think. So, but the way it has represented, the way the animation works, it's really smooth. I really like it. So we're going to talk about that in a bit, but before that, typing speed, right? So I'm going to play a game with like it's going to be a multiplayer game, and after that I will share a link for you guys to participate in that competition, and then we'll talk about the wondrous application. Okay, where is that? You can see my screen, right? Okay, looks like everything is fine. Oops, here we go. So now we are going to play against other people around the world, and it's going to start between three people: Don, CodeX, and Bhag Saleh. So people, they keep interesting names. Here it starts. Therefore run, make its long family by came, stop, take she, never, around, right, miss, what, those, big, again, song, new, often, earth, very, do, book, still, follow, small, every, right, might, spell, took, read, seem, small, as, even. You guys may be thinking what I'm doing, right? Without, could, old. I wish I could have shown my fingers like people do from top angle. That will be amazing. Maybe next time I can try that, because enough change must, it's for I on, large for went, before, call, once, every, most, it's such food. Here we go, 71 words per minute, and I'm the winner. That's how. If you focus, you can type faster, and if you keep practicing, immediately you can hit 75, 80. It happens with me sometime. I reach 80, 81 as well, but that is a very rare case. But on an average, it is between 65 to 75. So average, you can say 70 words per minute. Sorry. Okay. So that is there. Now let me just switch to main camera. Oops, I hope the live stream is still going on, because on my iPad I can see that there's some problem. Let me just check once again. Still it's working. So I'm previewing the same video on the iPad, and it was showing something went wrong. I got scared, like whether the connection was broken or... Yeah, things are good. So let's get back to the live stream where we are talking with you guys. Hassan Doy says 35 words per minute over here. That's good. You will eventually grow. The weather is too hot to go any faster. That's a good joke. Okay, Shriman Arjun is saying CodeX not updated or resolved issues on repo. I think it is not maintained by author now. No, that's not true. So if you see their pre version, like not the current version, the pre version, it always keeps updating with like 10 days before, 5 days before. So, and that all the pre things is going to eventually come as a stable release. So that is not true about CodeX. It has updates, and I've seen, like, I've started from the time when it was 2.0, then 3 point something came, 4 point something came. Now I don't know, I think it's 4.3, the current version. Let me just check. CodeX, it's 4.6.5, the current version, and the beta is running on 5.0.0. Let's see when was the last time beta is updated. So beta is updated last 2 months ago. Yeah, that's a little late, but it's still like if the stable version is working fine, so it's going to serve the purpose, and it is open source, by the way. Like, you can see all the code yourself. But the fact that there's a little bit delay, I accept that, because this author is not backed by so many developers. I don't know, for some reason people, they hate GetX and they don't contribute to GetX, whereas it's very fast. It has get CLI, which can create a project template and folders and everything for you. So I don't really understand why people hate and why they don't contribute to this project. But I have seen that on the regular basis. Let's check when before 2 months they have updated. I should be seeing versions here, right? So that's the stable release. If you go for, yeah, so 5.0 beta was updated 2 months ago, then there was update 7 months ago, and before that they were actively working. So I can say that after this beta release, there's not much active thing, but currently the GetX is working fine. Like, I didn't face any problem after null safety, so maybe they will release something over the time. But I don't want to be like in a fanboy section that, okay, whatever happens, I'm going to go with GetX. No, it's not like that. It is solving my purpose. It is giving what I need, so I'm happy with it. The moment I feel like, okay, the GetX is not going to be future, it's not going to update, like 2 months is not a huge duration. They're working on it. But if I see that, okay, it's been over a year that they didn't have any implementation, they didn't do anything, so I'm going to make a decision on that point. But that is not going to happen, because it's driven by community, and of course someone will come and they will write and they will fix all the bugs. And even I'm happy to contribute to this package if I can, but my time doesn't allow. That's the different aspect of it. Okay, let me switch to camera and take some other questions before we jump to Wondrous review. And we will just go through the code review. We'll see the videos, how the thing works, so you can, like, it will just be awareness for all the people watching this video, watching this live stream, how you can integrate all those animation, right? Okay, there are a comment from Pranav. They have released the package for their animation and also shown how does the actual animation were in Wondrous app. Yes, absolutely. They have given the complete GitHub repository, so you can see all of their code. You can see how the animation is done, what are the files they have used. Everything is available on a public Git repo. Okay, Shaurya Pandey is asking, can you suggest any cheapest and good video CDN which we can use with Flutter for apps like short videos? I didn't get your question completely. Video CDN, what does it mean? So maybe you want to create something like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, like that, or you want a hosting for video. I didn't get your question, so let's take another question meanwhile you are rephrasing that. There are issue I have worked on. That's perfect, Shriman. That's what is expected. Like, if you see something which you can help out the community, that's a really good thing to do. I appreciate. Anavago, we are upgrading to Riverpod for future. Maybe good for you, and maybe like we'll see how does it go with GetX. Maybe we can write some questions to them. But with the current version, I know, because on the pub.dev they're not going to take off any package. So with current version, our application runs perfectly. So at this point of time we are fine with it. But as you're saying, we may consider to look for alternatives as well. Shaurya Pandey, can you suggest any cheapest and video CDN? Again, your question, can you just rephrase? What are you looking for? Are you looking for any hosting plan or something? So if you're looking for hosting plan, maybe you can buy it from or why not to use AWS S3 bucket, which has really good performance. You can store all your files, videos and everything over there. Or Firebase also is a good option, but I don't think it's as performant as S3 bucket of AWS. Lenways has contributed 40 in the super chat. Thank you so much for that. And Lenways is also a member of channel CodeX. I really appreciate. Welcome to channel CodeX. I'm doing good. I hope everything is good with you guys as well. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to create the competition for typing, as I said, and then let's that will be at the end of the video. The competition link I will put in the chat box. I'm going to, yeah, there's one more topic I forgot to talk about. Recently I posted one community post on the YouTube channel about talking about the REST API guide. So I created a 10-page guide about REST API where I just have mentioned the basics of it. What is the HTTP headers, what is the HTTP response, and what is the different status code. So if you haven't seen that, I'll just show that demo here. And let's move to Wondrous application. And also let me share my screen. Wondrous Flutter. Okay. So I'll just play this video for the people who haven't seen it, and there are people who have already consumed it. So okay, let's watch this video together. You see the animation? You really need to download that application if you haven't already. See this animation of a gallery? It's really amazing. You just swipe it and it snaps to the next one. So it's available on Play Store and App Store with the name Wondrous. So just go ahead and download this one over here, or this side, whatever. See, it has that editing feature also for video, and this all source code is available on internet. So you can just use this feature in any of your application. That's cool. And this parallax effect, I really enjoyed. I really like that parallax effect. Like when you scroll, okay, so when you scroll, the foreground thing moves faster, the background thing moves slower. That's the parallax effect, and it is, you know, done with a master. Like it's a masterpiece, and it has all the cool features. It has all the features of map, all the features of gallery. So it's like a real world application which you can implement in your project as well. Okay, let's move to the GitHub. Here we have the source code and see what they have done. And also I will tell you the couple of things which I have taken from this repository. Like I changed the way I used to write code. One of the thing was about how we write the assets. So let me just show you that real quick. We have assets ... Yeah, here's the thing. So for all the images and videos or assets which we are using in the application, we have to keep it in the image path, and that I was already doing that. But what I was not doing is I was writing the complete path for every single asset. So let's say for the texture, I will write assets, images, texture. For icons, again, assets, images, icons. And what I've learned when I was just going through the code, they have created the root over here where they specify just one time, and then they use that root word, then the common. So basically they have just taken out that string and put it in a common common place, and that they're using. It's a very simple thing. It doesn't it's not a rocket science or something, but I really like that. Okay, this can be optimized even further. Why I'm rewriting that string again and again. So that is something I have learned from this repository, looking at the code. And that's a benefit. Like when you look at someone else's code, which is, and you know that it's written by G Skinner, it is written by the professionals, you learn a lot of things. So that's what I have learned from this repository. And then there was a couple of other things also which I added in my practice. It is about let me just recall. Yeah, it is about the imports. So generally in your application you have colors, you have styles, you have sizes, and all those things which are in different files. And when you start writing, you will import all of them. So you will write multiple import lines for colors, for styles, for sizes, and for images, for assets, and whatnot. What they have done, they have created a single file where they imported everything, and then they exported as a reference. So let me just show you how they have done. And I really like the way, so I implemented that in my project as well. Let's see. Let's go to the lib, any of the page inside UI. Okay, screens, here we go. And maybe home, it should be there. No, is it? Yeah, common libs. So what they're doing here, they're just importing common libs, and it contains all the other imports for colors, for styles, for whatever. Like if you just have a look at common libs, it should be somewhere in the common folder. Let me check here. Okay. I didn't remember where it was, but shall I search for it? Common libs. Or it is outside of that. Common libs. Here it is. You see? So in one file, they have exported all the libs. So you can place whatever libraries or whatever imports you're using often in your class and reduce that import line. So instead of writing 10 or 15 imports, you can just export them at one place and then use that same in any other file. It will reduce how many imports and how many that top section of your file looks like. That will be really reduced. These are the couple of things which I learned from Wondershare, wondrous application. I keep saying Wondershare, I don't know why. So, and there are many improvements when you watch someone's code and you know that it is like a good a person to follow. You will learn so many things, and that's how we learn from each other, right? Okay, so this is about wondrous application. Now next up, I will show you the PDF. Let me just switch to main camera. Here we go, and see some of the comments. Mr. Reality in the house, how you are doing? Yeah, it's been a long time for live stream, but I'm uploading videos regularly, so I hope you are watching that. Sudeep is asking a question: to be a freelancer, should I learn backend language or should I just use Firebase? So if you're doing good earning with your front end with Flutter application, you really don't need to know about anything else. You just hire another developer or just contact another developer who is good with backend and get the things done from him. So I personally think that you don't need to be, that much versatile. Like you don't have to be, sorry for the loud voice, you don't have to be expert in all the fields. Just do what you're good at and then hire other people. Then just give, bifurcate the things to other people, and they will do faster, quicker, and with, more efficiency because they have done for the long time. Can you suggest or make a video about product multi-filter like Myntra and Flipkart? Okay, so filtering, see, there's a couple of things to it. If you want to filter locally, then it's just like writing a where condition. And if you want to filter on the server records, then your API should have that feature where you can provide all the drop-downs value, and it will give you records based on that. So it shouldn't be difficult. If you want to know more, just ping me on Discord and I might give you the idea how to implement it. Will you attend FlutterCon India? Abby Matthew, I'm not in India right now. I was willing to attend that. I saw the post and I saw that everybody is going to go for Con India, but unfortunately I'm not there. And by the way, what is the date for that con? Because maybe I will be traveling to India in December, but that's not sure. I think the con is in next month, right? Shiva in the house, thank you so much for joining. I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, after a long time I came. Sometime, we are busy with other things, but this time fortunately I was busy with creating more and more videos, server pod, and people really liked it, and I hope you guys have seen the server pod series. So yeah, I was busy with that, and let me just find out the PDF I was talking about for the REST API, and then maybe we can end this live stream because it's already 1 hour. Abby Matthew says 19th of November, so there's no chance I'll be in India on 19th November. No, maybe in December, but unfortunately, but no worries. I will see you guys live. Are you going, Abby Matthew, there for the con? Okay, where is the API guide here? Oh, that's a PNG. Where I kept it? What technologies other than Flutter are you interested in? So apart from Flutter, I like Firebase because it's a complete solution starting from authentication to hosting to file server and whatnot. You talk about it, Firebase has it. So I like Firebase, and I have worked with Xamarin platform for quite a long time, so I'm good with that as well. Android, iOS, mobile application, of course, yes. Abby Matthew is going, congratulations. And you guys should also attend this conference because when community meets, a lot of good thing happens, right? So let me just check my mail. I don't remember where I kept that REST API guide file. Okay. I will download from my subscription feed. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me share my screen and open this PDF. Before that, let me take other comments as well. Yeah, we're good. So this API guide, what it talks about. So basically a lot of people, when they start development, the first challenge, creating user interface in Flutter is very easy. Everyone is okay with that. But when you communicate with the backend, there comes a real problem. So server pod technologies like server pod or Firebase solves that problem. So you don't have to work with the API. You work with the collection. You listen to the changes. You work with the document. But not all the companies go with Firebase or server pod, right? Server pod is fairly new in that. So the big companies, they have their backend already available, and they create the REST APIs to consume in the mobile application or web application or any sort of like third-party integration. So it's very important, in my opinion, to understand how API call, how remote communication works, and you should have a fair knowledge of it. Like before just consuming any REST API, you should know why it is a GET API, why there's a POST API. And if the developer gives you the wrong API, you should be in position to question why you have done that in a certain way, because it's really important. It involves the security as well, because say for example, you cannot call some confidential data in a GET API because that information will be visible in a GET URL. Like it will be available publicly on the URL, and anybody can read. Your network provider, your Wi-Fi router, like it goes through the open channel, so anybody can read what you have sent. So for that purpose, there's a POST API where you put the data in the POST body and it goes like covered in the envelope, nice and packed, right? So these are some of the standards. Then once you start consuming those API, you face challenges for like should I share my screen now? Okay. So then you face challenges like, okay, I'm getting now 204, what to do? Status code 204, I'm getting 403, I'm getting 401. So you really need to understand what are the different status codes are, how to behave in different situations, when to pass for data, when to understand that it's a problem from my side, when to think that it's a problem from the backend side. So for all of that, you need to have a better understanding of the API. Now, this is fairly, a basic guide. I just created like a 10 pages of it, but soon I'm going to create a complete, course on it for understanding the API, in-depth analysis, and writing your application, Flutter, and maybe we can keep it generic. So all the other client application also can integrate that and learn from it. So I'm planning to create a course on this topic as well. And maybe I'll put it on Udemy or in any platform where we can the audience can learn easily. So I really think that understanding of this API concept is very important for the newcomers, for the developers who just started Flutter, who just started development work in mobile application, because mobile is a client application. You have to get the data, you have to fetch records from the server, and the communication is very important. Writing UI, as I said, is just one part of it, but consuming the data, populating on the UI, it's another part, and that involves a lot of things. Like maybe your internet is broken, like it was connected to Wi-Fi, all of a sudden the network is gone. How it's going to handle that, what response you're going to get, how to retry that, how to intercept your request. You got the 403 unauthorized, the client opened the application the next day and your session has timed out. So how to handle that situation? So all of those complex things, like in the Flutter application or any client application, is to handle those scenarios. So I'm going to talk about that as well. This is just, you know, a brief about that, what I have shared in the chapter. So if you want to get this PDF to your mail, what you have to do, you have to go to codexdev.net, and then just submit, put your email address and hit submit. We'll deliver this PDF to your email box, and then you can read why we are using API, right? Why, first place, like the first question, why we need API. So I have answered with the graphics, what will happen if you don't use UI, and what are the different methods, as I said, and the examples and the hint, how does it work, everything is there, nice and simple, right? I kept it simple at the beginner level so anyone can understand what it's written there. And soon I'm going to come up with the course also, so I'll update you guys in the YouTube community feed once I have that course. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are interested to buy that course. If I create on the REST topic, how many of you will buy that course? So let's just have analysis, right? Should I create that course in the first place or not? If you guys are interested, if people are there to understand those concepts, the features, those concepts, how to work with that. So if there are audience to, you know, buy that course, I will of course create it. And anyways, I'm going to create it, but I need to know from my audience how many people are there to watch and buy that course. And by the way, let me also know that if you have downloaded this PDF, if you have found this helpful in some other way. So this is just like 10 pages, I guess. Yep, 10 or 11 pages. That's it. And all the RFCs where you can find all the documentation from global standards, right? Shiva is saying, recently our company participated in UAE Expo. It is a great experience in UAE. So Shiva recently came to UAE. That's great. You should have pinged me. Next time if I get chance, we'll meet. Sure, for sure. Ivan Hussein is saying, it's been a long time since I have seen you. Good to see you as well. Darshti Jani saying, read fully already. That's perfect. So there are people who have already read this PDF. I hope you found it interesting. And Darshti Jani has said, I'm new to programming. Also, my first language is Dart. I have completed Angela Flutter course. That's a good course, by the way. I'm learning things. How can I make money forward? Any roadmap? Okay. And what is the other question from Pranav has asked, what technologies other than Flutter are you interested? Okay, that's a question. That question I have taken already. Okay, so to Darshit Jani, let me tell you that with Flutter itself, you can make a good money, because mobile platform is in trend nowadays. Dart language you have already started learning, or you have learned up to some extent. So stick with it, create more beautiful application, create some GitHub repo, create your what we call it, create your profile. So you need to showcase your work, what you have done so far. So just whatever fancy item you see on the Pinterest or whatever things, like people, you know how people get convinced when you have the demo or when you have some example to show them. So take some idea from Pinterest or Dribble, the amazing user interface, the real-time applications, and just create just create some demo application around that. You don't have to connect to backend server, fetch data, not really required. You just create couple of pages and showcase your performance, showcase your knowledge of Flutter with the GitHub, and create your portfolio. Once you have the portfolio, then you can start applying for freelancing things, and you will get a, like there are so many communities around on LinkedIn, on Facebook. There are so many communities where if you post your work, you will get hired for sure. Like even creating those tutorial videos, I get so many requests for projects because people, they see the video, they see that what I'm doing and how I'm doing, they really like it, and they contact for projects, right? So once you keep yourself in front, like you put your work on the internet, people will recognize you. You have to do some like on LinkedIn or Facebook, you just keep your posting about that project you have created on GitHub, and you will get a good opportunity from there. So Dolby sounds official. Okay, sounds like we have some technical channels here. Okay. Dolby Sounds Official says server pod next episode on upload image to AWS. So for that purpose, you need S3 bucket, and S3 bucket is like you can think is like a Google Drive of Amazon. You can post all of your images, videos, files, whatever files you have, and it provides API for the, of course you don't have to drag and drop, they provide all the API, so you can upload all the bytes, and it's very responsive, it works very fast. So yeah, I'm not sure about the tutorial for that. I will not do a false promise, but it is going to come soon, maybe in the form of article. So let me talk about the article. I recently started writing article, and here is my first one. Okay, and I hope you guys have seen that before as well. So this is my first article where I have discussed about server pod, how and what, and installation and everything about server pod. So maybe in terms of article, I can write how to use AWS for image or file uploads, right? Okay, Manpreet Singh has asked a question: how to build APKs to Wear OS apps, how to change DPI for a smaller circular screen. Now, smaller screens have a total different world. You cannot do that with the same screens you have for your mobile application, because mobile application, the form factor is different. That is the first thing. The font size and the elements you have used is different. The images you have used is a different, like it's a bigger icons and all. So for smaller form factor, something like watch, or maybe for Apple Watch or Android Watch, you need to redesign. Like you should ask your designer to create for the smaller screen. And the way it works, it has a very limited access to resources. So you need to really think about what should go inside VROS. And I don't think the Flutter framework provides that ability as out of the box. You have to go on the native side for that. Okay, Darshit is learning APIs, Firebase, and state management. That's good. Any state management is fine. Provider is also fine if you are good with that. Firebase, of course, it will make you aware about the backend. You can write full-fledged application yourself. And APIs, as I said, all the companies, they deal with API. They don't go with Firebase, or they don't go with solution where you have this kind of a document DB. They go with the API structure. At the end, maybe it's a MongoDB or it's any kind of a DB, but they go with the API structure so that it can be consumed in any client application, irrespective of integrating the SDKs. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. We had a good session, by the way. Overall, like around the whole live stream, 20-30 people were there, so it's a good number. And after a long time I came, so let me know in the comment section, should I do this kind of live stream on regular basis? Are you guys interested to listen to me on a different topic, just have some random discussions, and maybe we can have more of that on period basis. Let's see. Darshit has one more question. What I have heard is that the people are saying that there is a very little market of Flutter front end for UI purpose. See, Flutter doesn't like the core part of Flutter, how it started and how it captured the market is user interface. But you don't want to be only just a UI application, a UI developer, right? If you want to be just a UI developer, you have to go to certain companies like Gskinner or the template providers, where your job will be just to create templates. But if you talk about like a full-fledged application, so you should be good with the state management. You should be good with writing a complete full-fledged application which works on Android, iOS, bare minimum. And if you have a knowledge of web, that's well and good. That's an add-on. Do once in a week. AB Matthew say do once in a week. I have a weekend on Saturday and Sunday, 2 days. In general, Saturday I'll do rest. Basically, I'll give time to myself. I'll go to restaurant, sit, and just enjoy. Little bit of work I have to do, like that's a side projects I have. I do on Saturday and Sunday. Generally, I do work for YouTube. So I create tutorials, I record videos, I do whatever. So let's see if that works. Like Sunday works for everyone. We can have weekly or maybe bi-weekly after each 15 days to catch up with all the updates going on and what I'm working on currently. Server pod and worker Node.js lib like feature, please. Yes, interested. Can you tell me next server pod tutorial episode? So a lot of people are talking about server pod, and I hope a lot of people have seen my server pod video. Just let me know in the comment section. Write me if you have seen my server pod video. Let me just know how many of my audience have seen it. And I'm going to publish before Friday the fourth part of it, which is going to be about hosting on AWS. So let me know in the comment section. Write me if you have seen my server pod video, or if you have at least used server pod, you have installed Docker images, and you have tried running the server pod project. Okay, Antenna has used that. I need to work on my voice. I'm not able to run server pod in Windows. Yeah, people, they say that they're complaining about Windows. I will maybe discuss with Victor, and he also specified that couple of like small challenges are there for Windows somehow, because it starts Docker image instance, it is running the DB server, it is running the web server. So there's a lot of work, and I really admire that guy. He has written a lot of good things, and it's a good for community. We can use it and we can write our full-fledged application. Okay, Abby Matthew, server pod, yes. Dolby has watched many times. It's very interesting. Thank you so much. Server pod looks cool. Can't wait to try it. So of course you need to try, and I shared the article. Let me just paste it again. You will find it really helpful. I have described in detail what you need to install, how you need to execute the commands, and how you need to create your first application on server pod. All right, so I will see you guys in the next one, maybe with the server pod video, and then we will back with regular videos. All right, so thank you so much for watching. It was really